what are Chelsea looking to do? Because there's talks of Mark Gahey potentially coming into the football club. Do you think is that one that you think should be of paramount importance for you?
It is now, especially with obviously Badiashile and Fofana being out. I actually think we probably needed a defender before the season started, additional to Tosin arriving. Now we do probably look desperate, so I think Palace will hold out for a bigger fee. But I think Mark Gahey probably ticks a lot of boxes in terms of returning to Chelsea, his profile, where he is in his career. I think it could be a good move, but I still think we're a bit short in defence. I think goalkeeper's still an issue. I think we could probably do with a striker as well. Jackson is bang out of form at the moment. So I think Chelsea's priority really will be to bring in a defender and probably sell between 3 and 5 players this January to raise some funds to see what else we could do. I think Nkunku might leave.
Dan, do you think that Jackson's out of form or he was just in a purple patch?
No, I think he's out of form because I think Jackson will be that type of striker for at least the next couple of seasons where he's sort of confident. His confidence was low after the Tottenham game. I don't know if you remember, but he was caught like afterwards crying after he didn't score and he was really upset. And I just don't think since then he's looked really at it. I think he's feeling a lot of pressure and I ultimately don't know whether he's able to cope with that at the moment. Chelsea, I think since Maresca came out and said that he thinks Nkunku isn't a number 9, I actually think you can see a decline in Jackson's form, which is concerning because that as soon as any chance of competition for the one position was removed, his level of performance has arguably dropped. So I think Chelsea needs to go in for a
could it also be the teams you're playing? You're playing teams that are a little bit more defensive.
No, honestly, Agal, it is touch and where he's had opportunities, like the way he's taken them have been really poor. So his whole game has just been a level below where it was starting the season.
Fair.
Was his touch ever that?
He is young. So I think he's
ever
young. I think inconsistency can happen.
Touch?
Honestly, yeah, couldn't they? Really not good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Are
I think
you
it's
gonna sign
Fulham was diabolical.
You guys think 100% you're going to sign a defender?
Yeah, we have to. We're in a bad position if not. Like, I don't think Anselmino's even fit to play. So we're down to like the bare bones of our defense, really, unless Ashimpong plays.
I don't even know who you just mentioned. Is that like 5th choice?
Yeah, well, Anselmino we signed from Boca Juniors, I think.
One of your Brazilian,
like a kid, yeah. So he's coming back as an absolute emergency. I think we have to sign someone. The worst thing is, though, is obviously we look desperate now, so the price will be more inflated than it already would be in Jan.
But out of all the clubs who can afford to splurge when it comes to it's like you like I hate it about Chelsea. You sell so well that you always are able to have the money to even go. Like I mean, your last like 4 big signings are insane. How much money you spent. So I don't think you should worry about the looking.
To be fair,
you panic. You've got the money.
You've built a better squad than Arsenal, so you should be fine there, no? Built a better
I think
squad
numbers-wise and personnel-wise, we got a better squad because I think we've got people to turn to. Whereas I don't think Arsenal do. Fine for what though? Because I think numbers-wise those players are there, but I've said before previously I don't think quality-wise those players are probably good enough.
This current squad's not good enough to finish top 4. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, it is. It's good enough to finish top 4.
Okay, so you'll be fine.
You know, the thing about Chelsea is you guys have the ambition to always go and improve your team. It's just, do you think you're going to have the quality of player you're looking for available in this window to actually go and say that player can help you push on, or will it be a stopgap player that maybe in a year or 2 you're going to need to get rid of?
I think like Mark Gahey, you could see being part of probably a number of teams from about 2nd to 6th. I think you could see him fitting in a Premier League team. So if that's where Chelsea see themselves right now, I think he's got a few seasons if he was to arrive. I just think the money could be astronomical. I know his contract's running down a little bit, but they were saying no to 60 million from Newcastle in the summer, weren't they? So I just think Chelsea will have to put some serious money down and probably send Trevor Chalobah the other way.
If you guys go for that 19-year-old at Bournemouth, that's the game changer.
Yeah, Dino. Yeah, he's quality, by the way. I think he'll end up at a team above Chelsea.
Who are we talking about? Sorry?
Dean Nelson.
The guy who scored the goal.
Yeah, he scored against us. I think he scored against as well. I think he might have scored.
He's Swedish, isn't he?
I thought he was Spanish, actually, but I don't know.
No, you are right. No, you're right.
I think he'll go Real Madrid. Honestly,
Whatever
that's where
he
I end
is,
up.
he's a baller.
Really?
19
I
years
do.
old, guys. 19.
He looks very,
Well,
very
his
good.
next move will be Madrid then.
He's Spanish,
Or
isn't
he'll-
he?
or
And
he'll
they're
end up
needing a
there.
centre back.
By the end of
That's
the
a
year,
massive step up, though.
by the
That's
end
a
of the
big
year,
shout, Dan.
by
Wow.
the end of the year in the summer, every single major club will be looking at him. 19
He's
years old.
quality. If you haven't
performing at
watched
that
him, he's
level.
unreal.
Have you seen his height also and
Yeah.
physicality for that
And he's
age?
so good with the ball at his feet as well.
Yeah.
He passes like a midfielder.
I can't say I've watched him a lot. So.
No, he's
If
really
Chelsea-
good, Kunle, honestly. Really, really
Chelsea
good.
pull that off in January. That's a game changer.
It would be. I think Chelsea would be viewed as a stepping stone in his career. To be completely honest with you, because I think he'll honestly be going for some serious money. But right now, I think Kate mentioned it a little bit earlier. I actually am not sure that he's exactly what Chelsea need. I think we've got some really talented younger players in this squad, but they need a leader in there. They need some experience. They need some people giving them a sense of direction, because we saw this last season under Poch. When we hit a bad spell, we're struggling to get away from it. And we're in that right now. We've struggled throughout December to turn our fortunes around. And I think it just needs talkers in the dressing room, really.
It comes
Would
with
you
the
say
young squad.
he's the guy?
I think Gehi's a leader. He's captain of Palace, so he definitely ticks the boxes. And he's also come through Cobham at a time when Chelsea were about winning and anything but that was failure. So I think he's well aware of what it is to be Chelsea.
Kunle, can I ask you a question? You said something earlier, but nobody else jumped on. I think it's we've missed the trick here. You're kind of being sarcastic when you're talking about Chelsea's squad. Now, a lot of people see them as a top 4 team. They've had a run of games with no win in 4. Do you believe they're going to struggle to make that top 4? Is the last 4 games an indication of worse things to come this season? Or do you feel that they will make it through that and the squad will prevail?
Well, if the squad stays as it is, I can't see them finishing higher than 6th personally. But if they do, if they do get some experience in, just like Dan was saying, it changes it, because like around a time like we always knew there'd be a time like this with the Chelsea team. How they react was always going to be the test. So I guess the next few weeks will have us see, and also with the last year's experience with Maresca at Leicester, in terms of declining in the second half of the season, the combination of those things, the lack of experience in the squad, could end up making them finish outside the top 4. I'm standing by what I said at the start of the season. They definitely started off better than I expected, 100%. But now they've hit like a little bit of a rut, and who knows how long it's going to take till they get out of it. So let's see. Over time will tell, but I still see Chelsea finishing 5th highest.
Is that because of Maresca more or the squad?
A bit of both. I don't know. Like Maresca was obviously trying to push away the pressure onto the squad, but as soon as the pressure started to come onto the squad, you saw a negative reaction so far. If we don't know if he can get them out of that yet. We don't know. But time, as I said, time will tell. He's still kind of the unknown. We're just judging him off a few months at Chelsea and being a season in the Championship. So we don't know. And
What do you
Chelsea
mean,
fans, you
Kunle?
could get rattled,
Like,
you could get triggered.
What do you mean by pushing the
giving my
pressure
opinion.
onto the squad, though? Because I feel like he was trying to alleviate it from them, saying they're not ready
that's what
yet.
I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He was trying to remove the pressure from the squad, but obviously the fans, the media got on top, and they started feeling like, "Oh, are we actually in this title race?" And I feel that had a negative effect on them. But
Because I
who
actually
knows
think
how they react?
I actually think the negative effect was him actually trying to remove the pressure. I don't think he has the charisma and the style to do that in the way that managers like Jose Mourinho and people like that have done in the past. I think actually he should have turned around and just said, "Look, we're taking it game by game at the moment. We'll try and set up to win every game that we play." I think by him saying that this team's not in a title race, I actually think since he probably said that, there's actually been an obvious decline in our results. I think actually it was the wrong mindset to set.
I see what you're saying. He doesn't have the siege mentality to be like, I was saying it more to pull the pressure off of you guys. Obviously, you're good enough, but I don't want people. You're saying
what happened
was
they thought he actually believed it, basically.
And the players,
like,
the players kind of believe the chill guy was a title race thing that they were seeing online, and I actually think that was disastrous because I think that's a really bad sort of level to set as a standard. I think he should have been telling these players, you are some of the most talented, highest paid players in the Premier League right now at your age group. You have to be showing that you can go and keep winning football matches. And they've actually failed, I think, because of his message. I really think he got that wrong.
I honestly do hear that, but I think the main reason why people are seeing Chelsea drop points now is because they respect you a lot more, and they're not going to set up the same way they set up against you to start the season, where a lot more teams were leaving their defense a lot more open. For example, that West Ham game, West Ham didn't even care about defending. They were just trying to attack you guys and kept getting caught out. Same with Wolves. They thought they had a game on their hands. Next thing you know, they conceded how many goals? 6, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, I really do think teams figuring out Chelsea with more of a sample size and a young team, you're going to see these mistakes, even if Maresca didn't say what he said. So I don't necessarily think it's what he said, but I do think there can be a level of complacency when you hear from everyone in the team that we're not where we're supposed to. We're not really going to go where we want to go.